Hey. What's going on? Got myself some coffee. I'm out here trucking today, folks. This is what I do every single, well, not every day. You know, I do it on the weekdays. Out here working. You gotta excuse me, I'm smiling and cheesing because it feels good. I'm nervous. I'm excited. This is something new. Speaking to the world on a camera through YouTube, and especially where there's no one here. You know, if someone was here, I could talk to them, have a conversation, but talking all by myself just seems odd. And looking at myself in this camera seems odd as well. I got a new phone today. Well, yesterday. I'm talking to you guys on this Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And I must say, this is the front-facing camera. HD. And I must say, man, this thing is pretty nice. Let's see. I got some dry lips going on. Let's fix that. What to talk about? I don't know. See, if someone was here, I can't keep blaming everybody else. No one's here, so it's just me. Talking to this phone. I see it on other YouTube channels how people just turn the camera on and just casually start talking. It seems weird. But I guess that's what I'm doing right now, huh? Every time I look at myself, that's cool. Oh, on my Instagram, it was like a week ago or something. I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I posted a dirty tooth. And had a wisdom tooth. No, not a wisdom, but a molar pulled out. The same molar that was capped and filled back when I was a kid. I had that tooth pulled. It was giving me a lot of problems. I feel a whole lot better now. Much better. Oh, and I posted it on my Instagram, the actual tooth. I told the nurse, hey, could you put this tooth out? Holy shit. I guess when you start talking, your damn throat gets dry. I asked the nurse if she could take that tooth and stick it out on the tray so I can take a picture of it. I wanted to post it for everyone to see. You know, I was pretty happy and excited that I finally got rid of that tooth. It had been bothering me for years. And now that it's gone, I got a nice little hole in the back of my mouth that food wants to get into, and you have to take water and swish it out. But I never had pain. The tooth didn't cause any pain. It basically just, I don't know. Well, yeah, it did hurt if you bit down on it, like some food and you bit down on it. But other than that, no significant pain. Here's my old phone. The HTC Evo from Sprint. Pretty cool phone. Still works great. But now There's no data. Yeah, people. Hey, if you got a bad tooth, man, and you got insurance or whatever, go get it pulled. Because all that infection, as you swallow it, you know, it gets down inside your body, and you're swallowing infection, and it could potentially cause you a lot of health risks. I have a theory that maybe that's why my kidney started acting up as well. Maybe swallowing tooth rot, decay, and smoking cigarettes, and being a truck driver, and stress. I'm sure stress also has something to do with it. Stress. But the doctor, the dentist, said, hey, you know, maybe a piece of food got stuck down in there. And, you know, I can't argue with that. I saw the x-rays. Oh, man, this phone has no... See, if this phone had service, I could show you, because I took pictures of the x-rays, too. Let me see. It might still be up here. I don't know. Are the x-rays up there? Oh, they might be up here. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Like any of you care. Maybe you care. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if I can show you. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Let's see. Yeah, you see right there how that tooth... Okay, look, let me get a pen or something. Hold on. You gotta see this. Hey, Dante, you showing everybody your damn tooth? Yep, I am. Oh yeah, I shoot it good. Okay. Look at this right here. Let's see if I can get that going good. Okay. Like right. Okay, this is the tooth that they pulled. There we go. That looks better. This right here is the tooth that they pulled. And if you look right there, that little spot, that little white spot, that was the filling. That was the filling right there. But this down here, this little dark area, you see that? Let's see. You see that little dark area right there? Now some might say, well, that's the space between the space between the tooth. But here's a different picture. Let's see if I can show you that. Look at this. Let's see. Right there. And then whatever that is, probably some food particles. But there's definitely something right here. It's a big something that the x-ray can't get through. It's thick enough that the ray won't penetrate it. You know. Anyway. Whatever that is, it's still there. I can feel it. But now it's not all the way down where it was. It's up higher, you know, like on the top of the gums. You know, the top of the gums where, I guess where the bone would be. I don't know, it's hard to explain it, but whatever that was, it used to be down here, like lower in my jaw, like down there. But now, since they pulled the tooth, it moved up to on top of the gum. And it's right there. And whatever it is, I don't like it. I don't know what it is. But I first noticed whatever it is back in June of 2009. No, not June, May. May of 2009 when I had my motorcycle accident. When I had my motorcycle accident, well, I didn't notice it the day of the accident. I noticed it, several weeks or days later. I noticed that there was some sort of a sensation, and I stuck my finger, down where the sensation was coming from, and there was something along the bottom of my jaw, just down in there, like a lump or a bump. And I'm gonna tell this story. Okay, so my theory is that whatever that lump or that bump was, my theory is that it couldn't be, I don't know, my theory was that maybe it was some sort of an implant, like an alien implant. And I know that sounds nuts, but I got a couple of reasons why I think that. Maybe it is nuts. I don't know, but it's still there. And I'm gonna go back to the dentist for a cleaning. They already pulled the tooth. Now I need to get these things cleaned. And I'm gonna tell them about it. I'm gonna say, hey doc, you pulled this tooth out, but I think there's something left in there. Why don't you take another x-ray and get a better look at whatever it is. Maybe you ought to cut that gum open and pull whatever it is out, because I feel it. So the night of my motorcycle accident, I don't remember much of anything. I have a couple of memories, and man, this is a whole lot better when you got somebody to talk to. I feel retarded talking about it all by myself. Anyway, so yeah, June the 9th, my friend, we would ride motorcycles a lot together, and I really enjoyed it. I had a Yamaha VMAX in '88. It was called the Max, and I loved that bike. And so we would always ride bikes together. And I remember I got to work that day, and his bike was already there. So I was like, oh snap, I didn't even ride because I drove my truck that day. So I called him up. I said, hey man, I said, you rode your bike? And I think he was like, yeah, didn't you? Or something. I was like, nah, but I can go get mine. So anyway, so I was like, well, once you get off of work, or whoever gets off of work first, whoever gets to the warehouse first, give the other guy a call, and man, I'll meet up with you. Or you'll meet up with me, or whatever. Anyway, long story short, I got to the warehouse first, and I called him up, and he was about an hour behind me. He was on his way back to the warehouse. And so, is that megabytes? I'm looking at the megabytes. I think it's like 1,000 megabytes in a gigabyte. Maybe, I think so. I don't know. Okay, so so I called him up, and I went home and sat on my couch and dozed off. And so he called me back once he was at the warehouse. I was like, cool, man, I'm gonna jump up and meet you there. So I got up after sleeping on my couch. I just dozed off for a couple of minutes, and went to my bike, got on it, and went down the street and made a right onto the street that I normally take. And so that's the last thing I remember right there, was making that right down that street. And so the accident happened about maybe 2 miles further down the road. So, and I have no idea what happened. But the next memory that I do have is me looking at me. I'm looking at myself like I'm basically in a tree or hovering in the air or whatever, and I'm looking down at myself, you know, walking in the grass trying to pull off my helmet. And that's what I see. And I'm in the air. And I'm looking at me. And so I see me trying to pull my helmet off. And then the next thing that I see, this is, you know, I don't know what happened in between that, but the next thing that I see is like I'm there with the paramedics show up, and they are assisting me to the gurney. And at this point, I am a part of that team. I don't know if I'm a part of the team, but the view that I have at this point is that I'm like at eye level with the assistants, the people, the other paramedics or whoever, the EMS personnel. I'm at eye level with them, and I'm looking at me as they're strapping me to the gurney. You know, they're putting the straps over, and I watched as one of them put, you know, these braces around my my head. Well, not around it, but like on both sides. It looked like, I guess, two little triangle things or whatever. You know, one over here and one over there, so that my head couldn't move. And then I guess they took like a strap over my head and put it there as well, and kind of cinched it in, and a neck brace or whatever. I don't remember if it was a neck brace or not, but they put me on the gurney. And so I watched them also as they open up. Well, the ambulance doors were already open, but they took the gurney and shoved it in the back of the ambulance with me on it, and I'm watching this. And one guy goes and, you know, gets in the ambulance in the front. The other guy is inside. He reaches and shuts the doors. And as soon as that last door shut, now I'm the view that I had changed that instant. Once the door shut, the view that I had changed from me being outside the ambulance watching as they put me in. It changed from that to now I'm back in my body. Apparently I'm back in my body, looking at the ceiling of the ambulance. I see the ceiling and the lights and everything, and then it was this great pressure, and that's the first thing I remember, was this tremendous pressure coming on. It kind of felt like going down in the deep end of a swimming pool. That same kind of feeling where your ears and everything just feels like a lot of pressure. And the pressure just kept building and building and building. And then it was a lot of pain, tons and tons of pain that I really couldn't translate. I don't think I actually felt the pain. I just felt the pressure building. And then that's it. That's the last thing I remember. Now, I may have blacked out. I don't know. So after that, the next thing I remember is being wheeled through the hospital. So now I come to again, and I'm looking at the ceiling in the hospital, and the lights are going. They're passing by, you know, one after the other, and I'm leaving out some details, you know, because there's other people were there, you know, don't want to put their business out on the street like that. But anyway, yeah. So I remember seeing the lights pass, watching the lights, and I didn't know what was going on at that point. This is like the first time I remember saying anything. You know, I'm like, what in the world is going on? And my friend was like, man, you got an accident. I'm like, what? A what? It's like, yeah, you were in a motorcycle accident. What? No. What are you talking about? How is this possible? This cannot be real. How was I in a motorcycle accident? And that's what I was thinking. But yeah, sure enough, I was in a motorcycle accident. And it was real. Like, how is that even possible? You know, one minute I'm making a right down the street you know, to get to where we're going to meet up. And then seemingly the next minute, like literally it felt like the next minute, I'm being wheeled down a corridor in a hospital on a gurney. So now, whatever happened, I don't know. I tried to get the 911 tape to find out, but that didn't work out. Hold on a second. Hold on, let's see something. Hold on. Alright. I had to go use the bathroom. Oh my goodness. Drinking coffee and water. It runs right through you. Okay. So I'm in the hospital. Anyway, I had no idea what happened. I don't know. I had a motorcycle accident. And I don't know what happened. Now, what does that have to do with the tooth? Adante, why are you talking about motorcycle accidents and this damn tooth? Because now the theory is like, okay, if you're in a motorcycle accident, yes, I was wearing a helmet. The theory is like you have a concussion. Well, that's my theory. My theory is I had a concussion. Well, I have several theories. One of them is that I had a concussion and I just don't remember whatever the hell happened. And maybe, if this is possible, I don't know. I'm not a neuroscience scientist. But maybe if you have a concussion, you actually lose memory, you know, chunks of memory. Maybe that's possible. I'm sure it is. It sounds plausible to me. Lose chunks of memory after having a concussion. So, this phone is awesome. I look fucking like HD for real. Look at this. Can you see the lint? Yeah, look at that shit. Now, I don't know if this is going to translate through on YouTube, but right here on this damn quad HD display, look at that shit. I can see the lint. It's crazy. Anyway, so the theory is two theories. One is, you know, I had a simple motorcycle accident. Whatever the hell happened. I had a concussion as a result. Lost a chunk of time, a memory, and that's the end of it. And maybe the motorcycle accident jarred something in my jaw. Maybe the helmet, you know, because I had a full face helmet, so maybe the helmet like hit me, because it makes sense. I mean, because that's where the helmet rides at anyway. It rides along the jawline. You know, like this. It rides along the jawline. And so maybe like, bam, and you know, whatever happened, you know, you hit your head, bam, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it hit along the jawline and whatever, maybe bruised or a collection of blood or who knows, or chipped a tooth at the root or whatever. I don't know. And maybe that's where this thing came from, whatever it is. Second theory. Which is even more ridiculous. Well, the first theory is not too ridiculous. I mean, that makes sense. But the second theory is that maybe I was abducted by aliens. Who the hell knows? And the reason why I say that is because, you know, during that time, I was doing a bunch of research on extraterrestrials and aliens and UFOs and all of that shit. Anything you can imagine, I was all into it, trying to study it, trying to figure it out, find out what's going on. Is there anything legitimate to this stuff? I mean, what's real, what's not real? So I can't look at myself. This shit is crazy. Uh-oh, I almost dropped the whole phone. Yeah, so anyway, who cares? But yeah, so, you know, doing a lot of research at the time, and I had a couple of sightings in that time, people. This shit is crazy. Like, before the motorcycle accident, I had three sightings. Three sightings. I never saw an actual craft UFO, like a ship or anything. But what I did see were these blue orbs. These blue orbs. Shit. Okay, so I saw these blue orbs. I know I saw these fucking blue orbs. And the craziest thing is yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, I saw another one. So this will be 5 times that I've seen these blue orbs in the sky. The first 3 happened before the motorcycle accident, and then I had one more years later, almost 3 years later, and then the last one was quite literally the other day, yesterday, Monday. I don't know. Anyway, so the first one that I saw, these blue orbs, you know, I drove for a company who delivered groceries to grocery stores in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I think it was 2008, late 2008. And I remember John McCain was somewhere in North Carolina on his little campaign trail or whatever he does. And I remember just thinking, like, yo, how crazy. Oh, he was in Fayetteville that day. He was on his campaign trail in Fayetteville. And I just remember thinking, like, yo, how crazy would this be? You know, this guy in the same city that I... What the hell? This damn computer. Okay. How crazy would it be that this presidential candidate in the same city that I'm in, you know, if I ran into like some barricades or if I ran into armed guards or whatever, I mean, you know, who knows what could happen when these candidates are in town, you know, in Fayetteville, and it's a military base right there by Fort Bragg. So I was kind of worried, you know, I got to hurry up and get back, you know, because I'm a truck driver, you know, you don't have much time to get shit done. You got to hurry up, get where you're going, do your business, unload, and hurry up and get back, or you're going to be out of luck because, you know, well, theoretically, you're going to be out of luck. I mean, that's back when we were on paper logs. But now, man, you got these people in these electronic logs. And who knows, you know. Anyway, forget all that. Point is, it's like I was in Fayetteville and John McCain was there. And so anyway, so I'm leaving this store in Fayetteville. I think this was the one on, I want to say, I forget the name of those streets. I think Ramsey or Rayford Road or some shit. I don't know. One of those. Anyway, I'm leaving the store, and I come out the store. I make a right, and I go down to 401, and you have to make another right. So anybody from Fayetteville, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You leave out the Aldi. I shouldn't have said that. Well, anyway, you leave out the damn store, and you make, well, yeah, okay, whatever, Aldi. So you leave out the Aldi, and you go down, you make a right, and then you come up and you make the other right up whatever 401 is. And so as I was coming up that street, there's like an elementary school off to the right or whatever. And I'm coming, it's like a hill. You come up the street, and so as I'm coming up the road, you know, it's like a hill. And I basically had like a mind. I don't know how else to explain it other than a signal. It was like a signal. It wasn't words. It was not audible. It was not. It wasn't language. You know, it wasn't like, hey, with instructions. It was not instructions. It was basically an inclination, I guess I could say, of an idea that translated to me that said, basically, it didn't really say it, but it basically said, look. And so it directed my eyes to look. And I looked out my windshield. And out of the top right hand corner, which would be the northeast from the direction I was facing, I look up there and I see blue lights. And they're not just sitting there, they're like heading down towards the surface where I'm at extremely fast. And at first, first time when I first saw it, it didn't look blue. It actually looked white or whatever color, because it was like fast moving. And my first thought was like, holy shit. It looked like to me like some sort of a missile coming down, out of the sky. And the first thought I had was like, holy shit, there's a fucking missile coming down. Somebody's trying to kill John McCain or some shit. That's what I was thinking. But I mean, this thing happened in like a split second. So, and that was the first thought. But as it got closer, it was like coming down from the top right to the bottom left, in my field of view. And as it got closer, I realized it was not a single missile. It couldn't have been a missile. It wasn't a single object. It was actually a cluster of objects. And not only were they not white, but they were blue. It's like they kind of seemed like they were white when they were far out, but the closer they got in, really quick, you could realize not only was it not a single object, it was a multitude of objects all kind of traveling together, and they were blue, and they were like orbs. Is the best way I can describe it. Like if you can imagine, I don't know, a bunch of softballs. I mean, they were bigger than softballs. They were probably about the size, from the distance that I could see them, they were probably about the size of soccer balls. Smaller than basketballs, maybe soccer ball size. And they were all blue. And there was a bunch of them, and they were traveling in a cluster. And so anyway, when they got closer, they were like traveling very fast. Like I said, I thought it was a missile. They didn't slow down until they got maybe, well, I want to say maybe about 100 feet, if that. Yeah, about 100 feet from the ground. Once they got about 100 feet from the ground is when they came down, and they just kind of like they hit the brakes or some shit. They were coming down like fast like a fucking missile, and then they like hit the brakes and then leveled out with the horizon over these trees, and then began to just kind of like, okay, so they came down like this, and then began to just move across the top of the trees like that. You feel like, here's trees, and then they just moved across the top of the trees. Maybe 100 feet up or whatever, however tall trees are. And they moved across the top of the trees for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then they just disappeared. Now, the thing I noticed was that they